The Outlaw Dirt Series is live on Shaggy TV, and we're at Ceday Lake Speedway here this evening in the UMPs. Drivers still getting ready to stage, just playing around right now, so no warm-ups in effect yet. But before things do kick off here and they start taking some laps, let's take a look at the points here coming in this evening. Cody Slauson at the top of the charts, Dylan DeWert. P2, Sammy Bachman hanging out in that third spot. Trevin Fry and Chris Thibodeau round out the top five. Trevin Fry, 3 wins this season, but missed a race, as that's going to be a big deal. You see, as the highest average finish, average finish of second place. So Trevin would love to get it together here, but I don't currently see him so far this evening, so not sure if Trevin's going to be here. I actually don't see Cody Slauson so far either. No Dylan, no Sammy. Is Chris Thibodeau here? No, currently not. So right now the top 5 are not here. So if they don't show, it could get interesting, but still plenty of time here left. They normally do advance it a little before the end of practice, but they definitely have time to show up. Not too sure how much time or what's left. See Clay Christopherson out here in the 51. Was he in those points? No, he is an FTM teammate of theirs, though. That's what made me think about that 51 of Clay Christopherson. Puts that thing around the bottom of 1 and 2. Tyler Welch sitting. Ooh, pretty good view of him there in the fountain. I dig that. Let's see here as drivers get ready. They are going to start putting some laps in here, I think. So you saw a couple of fast. Michael Farmer gets into the wall going down the backstretch. He's going to have to tow that thing and reset. Tyler Knopf in the 41 rips around a little bit. Very early on, but currently the fastest driver on the track. Let's change that to best time. See. Just cruising around right now in the back. She couldn't really throw it in there too deep. Cars in front of her. So maybe her first lap to let it sing here in that 86. There we see some other guys break into the 13s. I was getting a little worried there. Tyler was kind of out of the realm here. Everyone was looking to catch him. Sean Grimes Jr. just kind of pacing around here. Let's go on board here whenever cars get closer. Just, you're pacing around. Oh, never mind. He gets slammed. There he goes. He's going to tow that thing. Chris Thibodeau in the 44. Currently, like I say, only 9 drivers. Normally a lot more than that. So maybe we'll get them to show up, maybe we'll not. But there we go. We got a Chris Thibodeau fan out there. The chicken rooting for him tonight. Let's see here. Let's just go up top here in the booth. You just see some guys running around. Just pacing down the backstretch, maybe waiting for someone to get close so she can get racy here. Just gonna let them go on by. 44's got to get on the brakes hard. They're the Cajun. Almost ran her over here. Nowhere to go. I don't even care if you spam Go 44 the whole time. I feel like that only helps the stream. So, I mean, you feel free to literally type that in the rest of the races for all I care. And I'll show Chris the majority of the practice here for you. let's ride on board with the dad here. Let's see when he pulls off. You hear how quiet, you know, it gets in the middle of the corner, and that's what these guys are looking for. It's not necessarily bogging down and meaning he's slow, but you got to woe it down. These tires are so thin that you got to make sure they're going to catch whenever you get back on the hammer. And Chris is doing an excellent job of showing that to us right now on that 44 machine. He's going to be a contender here as we go throughout the night, especially little bit of a smaller field, but here it looks like the points leader did show up. Still sitting in pit road, has yet to come out on the track dialing to work, but the 20 car is here tonight, so slow down everybody. It's not gonna be as easy as we all maybe thought. He's gonna make it work tonight here. Jackson Johnstone, Blackjack in the 21 here. Hoping to hit Blackjack tonight. Hasn't won yet this season, but you know, smaller field here, good a chance as anybody in that 21. Never know what could happen up front. Guys could get into it a little bit, beat and bang, and just like that, you know, you find yourself up towards the front. Dylan does get the 20 machine out on the track, and we're gonna be quiet for a lap or two and let's just watch him from the stills. There you see the double O's lose a little grip there going down the front stretch and spin out. But, I mean, you saw they're starting to fan out. Your guys using 2 lanes in 3 and 4 and in 1 and 2. So should be a pretty racy track here when we move on into the first heat race. You know, guys are able to move in different lanes, and it's probably all about throttle control. I'm sure one line's preferred. But if you can outdance the other guy, maybe around the high side, that's the way to do it. Caitlin Taylor out there rooting for the 44 too, man. The 44's got the chat box tonight. If you're rooting for anybody else, you gotta let us know, because Chris is the only one getting all the shouts out here tonight in that 44. Still 13 minutes left here in practice. They may let it go here the majority of the 13 minutes. Try to get some more guys in the field tonight. Not too sure what the call is, but kind of makes sense to me here. Try to suck a couple more guys in. May have been a busy weekend for some racers here. Can't think you of who's playing football tonight. It's the Bengals and somebody, so I mean, who really cares about that? I mean, I got Chase Brown in fantasy. Who cares about fantasy? Oh my God. Let's go, Thibodeau. Another one. Man, he's got 3 of them in the chat box. Chris, he's got everyone here tonight. I mean, he doesn't win it. Maybe bottles thrown at the leader here. Crowd full of 44 fans. Tyler Knopf pulling back out. He's currently P2 on the charts. Let's see. We haven't run with Tyler. That's why we haven't run with Tyler a lot of days. Because he was sitting in the infield earlier in that 3 machine. He's still sitting in the infield. Probably in there pounding a couple cold ones here before we get ready to roll. The man at the top of the charts just pulled back out in that 28 machine. Let's see how the guy, the current lap leader, runs around this track right now. He's going pretty slow. He's not whipping that sideways. I think he wants to let the guys catch him here. So we got the whole family here cheering on Thibodeau tonight. It's nice that Chris has that kind of backing. It's really cool. I'm sure the majority of drivers would appreciate that, and it's neat to see everybody out there involved. Well, I appreciate you all tuning in, that's for sure, and I know everybody at the Outlaw Dirt Series does as well. Monroe, Georgia man back out on the track, Michael Farmer. No commas here, so I'm guessing it's Anderson Electrical Farmers Repair, Royal Odyssey. I'm guessing that's its own thing. Sonny's Barbecue, Mr. Do-It-All, and then the Nice Guy Andy's Podcast. Or maybe Mr. Do-It-All Nice Guy Andy's Podcast. That may be all one. I don't know. Oh, Scooter. All right. Okay. All right. I can work with that. That's gold. That is gold for a racer. I mean, you know, scooting your way around the top, scooting your way underneath. I can make that work. I'm going to do my best to remember that here throughout the weeks. I call a lot of different leagues, but that one's good. I should be able to remember that one here. As warm-ups are over, and we're going to get ready to roll here. So, smaller field this evening, and that just means the door is wide open for somebody to bring home their first win of the season. Let's see who pulls out on the track first. It's looking like it's going to be the 41. Of Tyler Knopf. Comes through 3 and 4, and he'll get ready to take the green flag for lap number 1. Gonna play with the bottom here the first lap, and you know, some guys do that, some guys will mess around with the top. Personally, I'm a top guy. Mess around with that middle top, and you carry more speed to the start-finish line on your second lap. You don't really sacrifice anything if you want to try the bottom, but Tyler Knopf, purple through sector 2, is currently that quick time, but for how long? As JT Wellman rolls in, he's close, but he can't take it over, and Tyler Knopf holds on to P1 for now. Let's find Elena Rouge here as she comes around for lap number 2. Elena currently P3. Where does she come home? Gonna stay P3 for now. As JT Wellman, he's finished. He's going to end up in P2. Tyler Welch rolls on. He's done as we watch old Scooter here in the 44, Chris Thibodeau. Let's see what he can do. He's going to really shut that thing down, roll around the bottom. Green through sector 1, slower through sector 2, and I think, all right, he's going to move up to P5. That may not kill him here, but he'd probably like a little bit more. He's slower through sector 1, slower through sector 2, and Chris, he's gonna have to take that lap as we run out of time in qualifying. And the 41 of Tyler Knopf takes quick time. JT Wellman And, oh, I thought we had 10 guys here. Excuse me. We only have 9 because it's taking them all into the heat race. That was what Shaggy's pause was about. My apologies. That kind of caught me off guard. I could have swore I saw 10, but hey, you know, I'm always wrong. Ask my wife. So we get ready to take a look at the grid here for tonight's one and only heat race. Starting on the pole, Tyler Knopf in the 41. Into his outside in the 28 machine, JT Wellman. Inside of row number 2, the current point leader in the 20 machine, Dylan DeWert. Into his outside in the 86, Elena Rouge. Inside of row number 2, the 44 of Scooter, Chris Thibodeau. Into his outside in the 21, Blackjack Jackson Johnston. Inside of row number 4, the 51 of Clay Christopherson. Into his outside in the 98, Michael Farmer. Rounding out the field all by himself in row number 5, the 3 of Tyler Welch. As we get ready to roll here for the one and only heat race at Ceday Lake Speedway. As we see here, if they do the 2 pace laps or just the 1. So I'm going to hop up here just in case to cover my butt. All right, we are going to go around twice. But this is Shaggy's green flag view here. As the 41 of Tyler Knopf paces us around one more time. We roll out of 2 and get ready to go down the backstretch. And these 9 drivers get ready to play in the clay at Ceday Lake Speedway. As we roll through 3 and 4, the pace car pulls off. The green flag is high. It's ready to fly. 10 laps to get it done at Ceday Lake Speedway. The 41 with a good jump right away, able to move on up and clear on up. And the point leader, Dylan DeWert, able to move from 3rd to 2nd pretty early on, is JT Wellman a little off the mark. Chris Thibodeau, their old Scooter, trying to scoot his way on around Elena Rouge downstairs, but just can't find the grip off of 2. Michael Farmer to the inside. He gets tight. He comes up the track. Him and the 21 of Blackjack make contact. The 3 gets into the 98. And Tyler Welch tries to roll one by. He gets 2 of them for now. But man, oh man, Tyler Knopf walking away with this thing out front. Dylan can't get that thing dialed in here. Feeling the pressure from JT Wellman as the 28 pulls up to the inside here as they go through 3 and 4. Coming to the stripe this time, 6 more laps to go at Ceday Lake. Side by side here, JT advantage in the 28 here, but he's blinking a little bit. Still going to throw the slider. Dylan going to try to dial it in on the bottom here. He goes for the counter. Dylan's got this thing back up to P2 here, as I think you want the bottom through 1 and 2. That's what these guys are showing. But while they're racing here and dicing back and forth, Tyler able to walk away. They make contact. The 28 checks up. Dylan almost goes around, but now we see Scooter. He's up to P4, and now he's got his sights set on 3rd here with 3 laps to go. Can the 44 run him down, or is he running out of time as we roll through 3 and 4? 2 fingers in the air, 2 more trips around Ceday Lake. 51 of Clay Christopherson trying to get under the 44 as we roll through 3 and 4. White flag in the air. Final time around for the 41 of Tyler Knopf. Tyler got out front right away. Good move through 1 and 2, and he never looked back as he comes out of 4 for the final time. Checkered flag waves. The 41 is going to start P1 for tonight's feature event, followed by Dylan DeWert, JT Wellman, Chris Thibodeau, Clay Christopherson, Elena Rouge, Jackson Johnstone, Tyler Welch, and Michael Farmer. And we're going to give Tyler a minute to... Tyler doesn't mess around. I was literally just saying we're going to give Tyler a minute, but I mean, Tyler, you win the race. You're on top of your game. I've never seen anyone get to Discord that fast after a win. Pull that thing out on the track too here so I can give you a little sponsor time.
Yeah, give me a second real quick.
Well, man, talk to me about that a little bit. I mean, obviously, qualifying up front, that's the big deal, right? I mean, you're able to get there and you put a good slide through 1 and 2 after a good restart, man. You never look back, dude.
Yeah, I mean, the track is a little bit greased up right now, so it's pretty tacky, and I was just trying to hold the bottom. I knew Dylan was going to be behind me, but I didn't think he was going to, stay far back.
No, and I mean, you said it, okay? Maybe it's a little greasy, Tyler, but the equalizer in this bad boy is that thin tire. I don't care what the track state is. You got to be on it at all times, right? I mean, if you give it too much throttle, you're going to lose the rear end. If you don't give it enough, those guys are going to drive by you.
Oh, yeah, I mean, from what Sean's talking about, we might be changing the track state. But it's all depending on the track state, man. It's throttle control on these, and it's tough. I just hope I can get a top 3 for this finish, so be nice.
Well, Tyler, right now you're sitting 6th place in points as we pull the point standings up. Yet to get that first win. You feeling good tonight, man? I mean, you had a rocket ship in that heat race.
Oh, dude, I mean, I got confidence. I could probably win it, but I know Dylan and Clay. I know everybody in this lobby is pretty fast, so I'm just praying I can win this and possibly put myself in a good top 5 or maybe top 3 in points. Never know.
Well, hey, man, from one PA boy to another, I'm rooting for you, Tyler. Get it done here, my man.
All right, thank you, man.
That's Tyler Knopf, able to dominate that heat race, but you heard him talk. They're maybe thinking about changing up the track state here, or they're letting the guys go beat up the track now in warm-ups. Maybe they'll run the full 3 minutes of warm-ups, which may be a good idea, beat up this track a little bit. Get guys to wear in some lanes, but I mean, you saw there in the heat, Chris Thibodeau, old scooter, he made his way on up. Clay Christopherson was able to make some passes. It can be done, but you got to be at the top of your game. And we're going to isolate this. I'm going to be quiet here for about a minute. Let's just watch them wear this track in. I love going to that TV static view, but we don't need the loud cars and Shaggy's loud mountains. Stick around, and like I say, I'm sure we're getting a 2-minute warm-up session. That's what the track needs, and I hope that's what they decide to do. They're probably going to do a better race here. Obviously, guys testing different things, but he's kind of isolated on that back group. And you notice this guy here in the 44, man, he's pulling away from that group. And I mean, he was running the bottom. Maybe the other guy's mixing things up a little bit. but keep an eye on this 44. I know he's got a lot of fans out there tonight. He is looking good here in warm-ups. 44 currently P3, and the track has aged a lot, so ignore those times. It is going to change here as we roll on in to tonight's main event here in the Outlaw Dirt Series. It's Ceday Lake Speedway. Starting on the pole in the 41, we have Tyler Knopf into his outside in the 20. Old DJ dialing to work. Inside of row number 2, JT Wellman in the 28 into his outside in the double 4. Old Scooter, Chris Thibodeau. Inside of row number 3 in the 51, Clay Christopherson into his outside in the 86. Elena Rouge. Inside of row number 4, old Blackjack, Jackson Johnstone in the 21. Into his outside in the 3 machine, Tyler Welch. Rounding out the field all by himself there in row number 5 in that 98 machine, we've got Michael Farmer. As everyone just hit that grid, the pace car is going to pull off here. We're going to go around 2 laps, and then we're going to fire these bad boys up here at the Ceday Lake Speedway. Tyler Knopf in the 41 out front. He dominated that heat race, but dialing to work. Remember, he started 3rd, but I mean, pretty much got to P2 right away, made the move through 1 and 2. So he didn't have to waste a lot of time. Still wasn't able to really run down the 41. So remember that. We'll see what he can do. And like I said, I called my shot, and I'm not doing this because he's got the whole family rooting. I liked what I saw out of that 44 in warm-ups. If you can get to the bottom, if he's not tied up top here by JT for a long time, keep an eye on that 44. As the green flag is high, it's ready to fly. 35 laps to play in the clay at Ceday Lake Speedway. We're underway. Able to get down right away and protect the 44. Tried to skate around up top, and man, old Scooter opened the door here for the 51. Now he gets door slammed here by the 86 and the 44. He is sinking like a stone here early on. He got the commentator's perch with Shaggy. Dylan able to hold off the 28 for now, P2, but the 41 of Tyler Knopf in his own class right now out front. Slowly starting to etch into a big lead here at Ceday Lake. Got a 7/10 of a second lead as we're only 3 laps underway. Chris working back under the 86 here, as this is the only battle we really have on track right now. Most people single file, but the 44 will get back down to the basement where I said he needed to be and move back on by that 86, but he's got a long way to go. Started 4th, back to 6th. And he's going to need some help here as he moves on throughout this race. As we get ready to go ride on board here with the guy in P2, let's see what he sees. It's nothing but perfection. That 41 smooth as silk right now for those corners. Lost the rear end a little bit coming off of 4, but didn't hurt. Look at that thing. It's on rails coming out of 2. Single filed out here is, let's see, Michael Farmer even kind of struggling here a little bit. Started 9, bounces that thing off the wall. Tyler Welch in front of him. He's his little apple dangling from the stick, but the 94 getting loose right now, or the 98, excuse me. He is struggling right now on this racetrack. JT Wellman starting to feel the heat here from Blackjack. Blackjack started 7th up to 5th, gets into the back of the 28, gets him a little sideways. Now he's going to look upstairs. 28 here, he blinks out a little bit, comes back. Jackson trying to find a way underneath now as he counters out of 4. He's got the fender under him here through the corner. The 28 gets a little bit loose, and just like that, JT finds himself back in 5th place here. Jackson up to P4. Dialing. He's got that thing dialed in now, man. Look at him reel in the leader here, Tyler Knopf, as we cross the stripe. 23 more trips around. That is a lifetime for that 20 machine as Shaggy clicks the wrong button and we click off this battle here. He's down low through 3 and 4, side by side at the line, but give it to the 41 for now as we get quiet and we watch this race. Man, he made that quick here. Farmer's going to pull off. You see him go down pit road. But Dylan, oh man, he made that look easy here. He didn't even really take any time to set that up. That was done in about a lap and a half. The 20 really flexed his muscles here, and now the 41 going to try to come back strong. As the fender as they exit the corner, but just doesn't have as much momentum as that 20 on the high side. But Tyler not giving up, man. He ain't going away. That 41 looking for his first win of the season, and now he's watching it slowly fade away as he's overdriving it a little bit, losing grip on exit. And Dylan's got that thing dialed in, and he is slowly pulling away. As the 44, Chris Thibodeau, he's caught the 28 of JT Wellman as well. He's trying to work his way around. Got to go where they ain't. Both the guys in front of him are on the bottom. He moves up to the middle. It's a good run out of 4. That may have opened his eyes a little bit. I don't know if it's there in 1 and 2. He may have to ride in line, but I think he figured something out right here. Makes up time on him on exit. Really reels him in. This is where you got to run the combo if you're the 44. You don't need to hammer that middle high in 1 and 2. It ain't working. Don't beat a dead horse. Get down there, follow in line, and hit your marks there through 3 and 4 as we see he goes a little bit too high. Tyler all over the back of the 20 machine as he's cut that thing back down to 2/10. Tyler, he got his, cooled off. He was overdriving that thing. I had talked about it, just driving it too deep. He did it there in 1 and 2 as well. And the lead gets extended to about 3/4. He's just got to put that head down. He's got to be smooth. Tyler Knopf has a quick race car. Coming up on lap traffic, too. You hear him there. He loses the rear end just a little bit. He doesn't have that thing straight enough as he's getting on the gas. 1 and 2, he's got this thing. Looks pretty good. Maybe in the gas a little late here. 3 and 4, he just fights that tight race car. Gotta give it a little more wheel, and when he does, under acceleration, you hear it starting to spin, you hear the revving, and Tyler, he's starting to lose touch with the 20. JT Wellman not giving up on Blackjack yet. He's looking down low through 3 and 4 as 10 laps to go this time by. Chris Thibodeau still trying to beat down the attic here as he gets a run on the high side. Don't look now, but the 44, he's moving on up to P5, scooting his way on the high side. Ooh, the 28 thought about shutting the door, but too big a run by the 44 as Chris Thibodeau holds it at the line, but now he's got to find a way around Blackjack here. The 28, that pesky little brother, man, who won't go away, still hammering that bottom. Trying to find as much grip as he can as the 21 loses the rear end here. The 44 got a big run going down that front stretch. Man, look at him battle 3 cars. Chris Thibodeau got a little loose coming out of 4. He loses that spot to JT. And JT maybe picks up 2 spots in 1 lap as he hooks that thing up on the bottom. But advantage 21 coming out of 4. Not going away. He's pesky down there, that 28. Able to work back around the 44. He's blinking a little bit. Man, that's got to be a little scary for all the drivers around. He gets a little bit sideways, holds on to it. Man, he's really whipping it in there in that 28. turning right the whole time. Dylan DeWert here comes across the line with 2 to go. He was able to get by Elena and Tyler, the last lap traffic. As Clay Christopherson gets by Tyler Knopf. Tyler got hung up with lap traffic. White flag in the air. Final time around. Dylan DeWert got up front, was able to hold on, but we're going to watch this battle for P2 here as we roll through 3 and 4. Clay Christopherson going to shut it down. Dylan DeWert takes the win. His FTM teammate brings home P2. Tyler Knopf rounds out the podium in the 41. Scooter brings home P4 there at the line over JT Wellman and Jackson Johnstone. Elena Rouge and Tyler Welch, along with Michael Farmer, round out the field. Let's go back and watch that white flag lap here for Chris Thibodeau. Starts this lap. Where is he? Did we not go far enough? Here we go. Shaggy's apologies here. All right, so we're coming to the white flag. You see it waving here. It's maybe in 4th. The 28 maybe gives the 21 a little bump there in the middle of the corner. The 44 with a perfect short slider. The 21 tries to counter under, but JT's there, and man, the 44 steals P4 there on the last lap. That was a good run for old Scooter. In a caution-free race. Pretty unbelievable here at Ceday Lake Speedway. These boys put on a show. Let's see if we can find that 41 of Tyler Knopf, and we're going to bring him up for his interview.
No.
Oh, sorry, Tyler. I'm good at pulling
you're
people
good.
out of conversation, so I have that happen to me quite often. But, man, you're running out front, and it just seemed like as the track aged a little bit, Dylan really, just turned it on, and there was nothing really anybody could do about that 20 car tonight.
Yeah, man. I had a feeling that he was going to be there, and to be honest, I thought I was going to hold him off, but the track just got a little bit weird, and I didn't know where to go.
Yeah, and I just caught the end of it there, but what happened there in the battle with Clay? Did you get caught up behind lap traffic? Is that what kind of cost you that?
Yeah, so my spotter on iRacing didn't let me know I was clear on the top side, and I came up, and I didn't know that Elena was there, so I kind of messed up right there on my part.
Well, that's going to happen. Trying to work your way through lap traffic while you're trying to fend off the guy behind you. But Tyler, at the end of the day, man, you bring that 41 home on the podium. So it may not be the spot you want, but at the end of the day, man, you can't hang your head. That's a hell of a run for that 44, man. Who you want to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Excel Sim Sports for letting me drive the car. Sonny's Barbecue, Mr. Do It All, Nice Guy, Andy's Podcast, Real Odyssey, Ty Kalua something Cruise, Biggs Worms Racing Videos, Farmers Repair, Anderson Electric, Bowman Designs, Reaper Apparel, and Premier Racing Setups.
I'm going with Taquiera de la Cruz.
Yeah, something like that, man. I have a problem with that name.
It's all good. That's what I'm going with, though. You know what I'm saying? But congratulations,
Yeah.
Tyler. Heck of a run, man. And I hope I get to talk to you again next week, brother.
Thank you, man.
That 41 machine able to get it done, bring home that bottom step of the podium. And now I'm going to bring up a guy who, no stranger to talking to this man here in the 51, Clay Christopherson. Maybe not the spot you want, but a 1-2 for FTM. Gotta feel good, brother.
Yeah, I got lucky with that lap car. I think Tyler maybe got confused on where the car was going to be or whatnot, and I saw him shoot down to the bottom, so I knew what he was doing. So I just figured I'd do a cut down right at the middle of the track, and it worked. And I just kept running my lines that felt comfortable. I was searching the whole time. There was track everywhere. It's just whatever one kept you the most straight. I mean, the whole track was fast.
Yeah, that's something that I talked about a little bit in warm-ups, and even Tyler in his interview. Something, maybe I'm wrong here, Clay, but I find unique with the UMPs. No matter what the track's like, it really does come down to the driver in these things. I mean, you can't get away from it. It's all about throttle control. Am I right?
Yeah, it seems like after about 7 grand, it's just wheel spin city. So I don't think I was more than half throttle the whole time. 'Cause, I mean, a little bit more than half throttle here on the straightaways is getting close to 7 grand, 7,800 in that area, and it's kind of the threshold you want to keep these at. Otherwise, they just spin. So you end up keeping them pretty straight.
Well, Clay, you know what they say, man. You'd rather be lucky than good. And tonight you got a little lucky with lap traffic. Move on up to P2, and you bring home that 1-2 for FTM. So congratulations, Clay. Good run tonight. You got anybody you want to thank?
Uh, Outlaw for putting this on, you for broadcasting. I'm probably a couple hours here. I'll lay in bed and watch. I like watching the broadcast. So all the guys at FTM, Swan Speed Shop.
Well, hey, I appreciate you going out there and watching it, Clay, and I appreciate you guys putting on a great show, man. Good run, and I'll probably be talking to you a lot more here next week.
Hopefully. Have a good one.
51 of Clay Christopherson, and now we're gonna bring home it might as well be his home here. Dylan DeWert, another win. It didn't come as easy as maybe you thought it was gonna. I mean, you hung around in second place for a little bit, but was that just you kind of biding your time, making sure you didn't wear down those tires?
No, not really. It was more along the lines of just soul searching because this track was goofy.
Well, you end up figuring it out, and I thought it would take you a little bit, to work on that 41, but you ended up getting it done in about a lap and a half. And do you think when you got by him, I mean, we saw him stick with you, you think he was able to kind of, little bit of monkey see, monkey do?
I don't know, man. It was one of those things where I kept searching after I got by him. So I was top, bottom, middle. I just wanted to see what was fast because I still didn't really know. And I just kind of was gauging him because he was a little bit more consistent with the line, I felt. Then I found something and kind of got a little away from it a little bit, and it started working. But there was multiple lines you could use. It was really more about just keeping your momentum up. But I mean, I was kind of surprised the bottom and 1 and 2 kind of was just there the whole time. But the track was weird. It didn't feel like it really had a whole lot of drive off. I don't know. It was one of those things where I just kept looking for it, and then finally I kind of just settled because, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of what you got to do. And, speaking of settling, that leads me to my next question here. When you're out front and, normally you say 30, 35 laps, green flag. Yeah, I'll take it, especially out front. But in a car like this where it takes so much focus and it's all about throttle control, are you ever begging for a caution out front and wanting a reset, or do you just want this thing to roll and get it over with?
It depends on the circumstance tonight. It just more along the lines of just wanting to get it over with. But I mean, if he was really close to me and stuck next to me, actually a restart probably would have benefited me just so I could dictate the start of the pace, a little bit and get away from him probably. But in this regard, no, I just wanted it over with.
Well, hey, man, you bring home that 1-2 for FTM, so I know all those boys are going to be happy. Congratulations, Dylan, on the big win. Who you want to thank?
Well, Clay for coming out to play, all the boys at Outlaw, Tyler and Sean and their crew, everybody else at FTM, Swan Speed Shop, Dean Super Dirt Car, Bombs Tech Services, and you for making us look pretty shag.
Well, hey, I appreciate that, DJ. And I got one question before I get you out of here because, I do that Friday Night Lights deal with Joe Halter.
Mhm.
Is Dalton your brother? Because we couldn't piece that together. Okay, he is your brother. All right.
Yep.
Okay. I needed to do a little homework. But, all right, well, great run. Tonight's about you, Dylan. Congratulations, man. And I'm sure I'll be talking to you a lot more next week here.
All right, man. Well, have a good night. Thank you.
And that's Dylan DeWert in that 20 machine. He gets it done. You saw the pass there. And the 41 hung with him for a long time and maybe just started to get those tires a little hot, overdriving on entry, let the 20 get away, and then all of a sudden gets into it with a lap car and loses P2. But at the end of the day, we'll bring up those points. Cody Slauson not here, so Dylan, that's why I called him the point leader. He was going to inherit that no matter what, and he's going to extend that lead here. Chris Thibodeau might move up to a possible top 3. So you never know what could come in the future for that 44. But that's going to do it for us here tonight on Shaggy TV. Thank you for turning in to watch the Outlaw Dirt Series. Every Sunday at 9:30, you get to see the best of the best race the UMPs on iRacing. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Don't miss a show, and tune in next week. I'm Zach Chapman signing off. Have a good evening.